Kamani de Riv, Agrinushla, Mina Sama Kamawa, Watashiwa Irelandu Taishides, Paul Cavanades, because Kurum fear fall to Rove Galair the Stiach, could the ambassad na Heron and Shas Shapine. Law Ele Fadric Fi Vashadiv Galair. I'd like to welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to this virtual St. Patrick's Day reception at the Irish residence at the Irish Embassy here in Tokyo. I'd like to extend the warmest of welcome to our Japanese friends, to our Irish friends and members of the Irish community here in Japan, and to our international friends from all over the world. Now this year, as we all know, due to the COVID dislocations, the principal St. Patrick's Day events in Tokyo have been cancelled. And these include the parade on the Motosando Dori, the Isle of Ireland Festival in Yoyogi Park, the Irish Ball in Tokyo, and of course the Irish Day National Reception, which the embassy normally hosts. And we do so this year online. Welcome again. I'd like to thank all of our friends, Japanese, Irish and international, for their constant support throughout the year. We work closely together and we've continued to do so despite the COVID. Not least, I would like to commend everybody for your resilience and fortitude in the face of the pandemic. And I hope we find you and your families well, whether they be here in Japan, in Ireland, or around the world. Before going any further, let me acknowledge and pay tribute to the fantastic work done throughout the year here in Japan by the many Irish organisations and societies in this country. Beginning with the Ireland-Japan Chamber of Commerce, the Irish Network Japan in its several branches, the GAA in Japan, the IASL, the International Association for the Study of Irish Literature, which has its largest chapter in the world here in this country. Also, Cultus Cultori Éireann, which channels fantastic interest on the part of many Japanese nationals in Irish traditional music. Also, the Irish Ball Committee, the St. Patrick's Day Coordinating Committee, and the many committees and societies across the country who organise events in the framework of St. Patrick's Day every year, from Kumamoto in the south to Sapporo in the north. We admire what you do, and we appreciate deeply what you do. And we look forward to continuing to work with you in the many years to come. Perhaps now a word on the programme, on the running order for our online reception this evening. Shortly, we will be privileged, I believe we all agree, to receive a message from An Taoiseach, the Prime Minister of Ireland, Mr. Micheál Martin, TD. And after that, we will see a number of cultural performances by artists based in Ireland and some from here in Japan. And following that, I may try to sum up our proceedings in a few concluding remarks. Before we hear from the Taoiseach, let me perhaps say a word or two about the current state of relations between Ireland and Japan. I believe they have never been closer or warmer or more fruitful when it comes to cultural exchanges, economic trade and investment ties, and political relations. And all of this is exemplified by the great progress we're making towards the completion of the Ireland House Tokyo project. It will be a new showcase state-of-the-art facility in Yotsuya. It will facilitate the embassy, the residence of the ambassador, the working offices of Ireland's growing family of economic agencies here in Japan, a conference facility, an exhibition space, a performance area. It will be the perfect platform from which to project all that modern, dynamic, innovative Ireland has to offer this country in the years and the decades ahead. And speaking of the future, we look forward to the time after COVID, after the curtain raises again, to when we'll be able to see each other much more often. People-to-people contacts will resume, and the Japanese and Irish will be able to visit each other in their beautiful respective countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged in our Tokyo reception to hear a message from An Taoiseach, Mr. Míle Martin. Before hearing from him, let me say a word or two of introduction. Míle Martin has been a member of the Irish Parliament, Dáil Éireann, since 1969, and he has been head of government since last summer, 2020. In the many years of his political career, before he became head of government in 2020, Mr. Martin served in several ministerial portfolios. He was Minister for Health and Children, Minister for Education and Science, Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Employment, and Minister for Foreign Affairs. And along with many current Irish ambassadors, I was privileged to work closely with him during these periods. The three-party coalition government that Mr. Martin leads has been facing extraordinary challenges on behalf of the Irish people. And these challenges are shared with counterpart governments in Europe and around the world, focusing on COVID, the economic impact of the pandemic, and in the European sphere, not least, Brexit. Now, Mr. Martin is no stranger to Japan. While he was Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Employment, he led a significant and successful trade mission organised by Enterprise Ireland to this country. And he is one of the strongest supporters back home of the Ireland House project here in Japan. We know we have a friend in court in that regard. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite you to give your full attention to An Taoiseach, Mr. Míle Martin.
Thank you, Ambassador Kavanagh. Chorda Gael is a Chorda Galéir. Lá speisialte é lá éile pádrig, de gach Gael sa bhaile nu haar lár. Is cum a cén áitir fud an dáin in a bhfuil míad a nuv. Be míad Galéir ag macnamh éiring, agus ar naireacht, agus ag ceiliúradh le chéile. St. Patrick's Day is a unique occasion to all of us of Irish birth or descent. It is a day when, no matter where in the world we might be, we celebrate our heritage and culture. We like to think that the entire world is a little Irish on the 17th of March. In this Olympic year, let me send a special word of greeting to the long-standing Irish community in Japan and to our many and distinguished Japanese friends. A happy St. Patrick's Day. Lá Féile Fádrig, from Ireland to all of our citizens in the land of the rising sun, where traditionally St. Patrick's Day begins. This has been the most difficult and challenging year for everyone, not least our Irish community abroad. Many of you have lost loved ones to this dreadful pandemic. You have been unable to travel home to spend time with family and friends. I know so many of you have missed important milestones, Christmas, birthdays, weddings, and sadly even funerals of loved ones. Your forbearance and sacrifice is strongly appreciated, and your efforts to keep us all safe has paid dividends. This year, in the much quoted words of Seamus Heaney, hope and history rhyme. Being rhythm idir dochas is dochas, thanks to the vaccines leading the way to the end of this terrible period. Political, cultural, economic and people-to-people ties between our two countries are long-standing, friendly and robust. Irish people appreciated the extremely warm welcome that they received in Japan during Rugby World Cup 2019. We value highly the rich cultural exchanges between our two peoples, as well as our deep economic ties. Japan remains the largest source of inward investment into Ireland from the entire Asia-Pacific region. Our two governments share a strong ambition to bring Ireland-Japan exchanges to a new, even higher level over the next half-decade and more. This year, I hope to sign with Prime Minister Suga a new multi-year framework agreement to to build larger and closer ties between us across a wide range of business, scientific and other sectors, including in digitalization. As a practical commitment to our expanding relations with Japan, we continue to develop in Tokyo the new state-of-the-art Ireland House, due to open in 2024, the largest single capital investment ever made overseas by an Irish government in almost 100 years since independence. Ireland-Japan relations, we believe, have a very bright future. Let me thank each one of you, ladies and gentlemen, for all that you do every day to build that bright future and to bring our two countries and peoples even closer together. I wish for you and your families in Japan a safe, healthy and fulfilling year. In particular, we're hoping that we will win many medals at the Games, the Olympics and the Paralympics. And so let me conclude as I started by wishing all of you a happy St. Patrick's Day. And on behalf of all of us here, we are thinking of you all far away and hoping and looking forward to the day in the near future when we can welcome you all home. Berbua, Benacht, agus go raibh míle maith agaibh go léir.
Well, on behalf of all of us here in Tokyo and around the world tuning in to our virtual reception here in Japan, let me thank you, Taoiseach, for those uplifting remarks, which are a great encouragement to all of us. It is wonderful to hear from the top of the Irish government at home as together we traverse these difficult times in the face of COVID and all that's associated with it. Thank you again, Taoiseach, in particular for your support of the development of relations between Ireland and Japan, to which you are so strongly committed. Gur míle maith agaibh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, some cultural performances. St. Patrick's Day is the perfect time to showcase and celebrate the brilliance and diversity of Irish creative genius and the cultural and artistic partnerships which our people have built around the world, including here in Japan. Last year, many of you may know, the Irish Embassy in Tokyo organised and broadcast a series of webcasts of brilliant Japanese musicians, talented exponents of Irish traditional music, in a series called My Irish Music Japan. It was seen by millions of people. We were very proud of it, and we were very proud of them. And we will have an opportunity now to catch up with them and to hear some of the best musicians from that seminal series. And we'll be joined also by Irish performers from Ireland in this fusion for our St. Patrick's Day reception in Tokyo. So, ladies and gentlemen, over to the performers. First of all, from Ireland.
The hothouse flowers reach back to their busking roots in the deserted streets of Dublin's Temple Bar, with an electrifying rendition of Siad Mhaí, a traditional dance song from Connemara.
She do a mo, yeah, she do a mo, yeah, she do a mo, she kind of on that again. She do a mo, yeah, all of this for the was her a chico, she had worn her shot again. Yep. Because I say my budget and healing, so he got to Belano and the Caroni. Pass the sheet children in the go, see credit to the what if I shot again. She do a boyo alle de shori. Gus khayre chi go shi et wori khasharge. O vecchio se sembra voce tonini, sarò i volti per la non ne carone. Khas si shurun in wele da go si khayre che churi chi wori khasharge. O shi do a boye, shi do a boye, shi do a boye, shi khayre khamarge. Shi do a boye wale de shori. Gus khayre chi go si et wori khasharge. Wie me ze heen en me nog, ik ging nog, ik denk nog, ik zie ze om zien er wel waar ik heb. Je varieert en hoe er slecht door aan ik naar rond, ik was in de schiet laat eraan. She do a moye, she do a moye, she do a moye, she kaila khamarge. Oh, she do a moye, ala de shori. Gus khayre chi go shi et wori khasharge. Let's go, boss, back to the Míle show. Let's go, boss, show them what's more, there's more to be hazard. Oh, she do a moye, she do a moye, she do a moye, she kind of come out again. Oh, she do a moye, elle de shori. Gus khayre chi go shi et wori khasharge. Oh, she do a moye, she do a moye, she do a moye, she kind of come out again. She do a moye, elle de shori. Gus khayre chi go shi et wori khasharge.
On a sunny weekend last year, 41 children from Orc Dausa Dance Club became a choreography and film collective, dancing to the music of the Bothy Band in favourite places near their homes in Leitrim, Sligo, Roscommon, Mayo, Fermanagh, Longford and New York. Together, they have created this shared celebration.
So what about that? I'm sure many of you were on your feet dancing during those wonderful performances. I just hope you were dancing on the floor and none of you were dancing on the table. You could do yourself an injury doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude our proceedings, let me say a final special word of thank you to our Japanese friends and colleagues who work so hard with us all the time to bring our two countries and our two peoples even closer together in the fields of culture and the arts, academe and research, business, trade, investment, tourism, and of course, in the political world. We appreciate deeply your partnership and your friendship, and we look forward to building an ever-flowering relationship between Ireland and Japan in the future years. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being part of this lovely, innovative, online St. Patrick's Day reception of the Embassy and the Irish community in Tokyo and in Japan. Céad Míle. Arigato gozaimashita.